We're here with Dan Martin, who's a TV writer for Code Monkeys,
Yep.
which airs on G4.
It's an animated show on G4 about a group of video game programmers who work for a company called Gameavision. It takes place in the 80s, so everything about the show revolves around 80s culture and a lot of illegal substance use.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started with Code Monkeys?
I came out before the big comedy boom, the bust of comedy.
When was that?
Well, I came out in 2000.
Okay.
And comedy shows collapsed around 2004. So the old system was you'd come and you'd become a production assistant and you'd work your way up through the ranks. But then by the time we had gotten up in the ranks, the writer's assistant, producer's assistant, everything collapsed. And we were like, oh, what happens? Oh, you mean I don't get a job on the show? No, what happens? I wrote this pilot. Sony bought this pilot that I wrote, and it was about the military. And from there, I got staffed on Code Monkeys. So that's how I wound up on Code Monkeys.
Are you the only writer on Code Monkeys? How many writers are there?
There are, including the showrunner, there are 5 of us. It's a very small staff. We're all like 80s kids, so we all have that like the sort of references to like Diana and Charles getting married and the space shuttle, all kinds of stuff. So it's all about the 80s.
What's the process in writing an episode?
It's a little bit different than I think most shows in that we will sit around and sort of come up with what we might find funny. We just start pitching ideas together in the room. If Adam De La Pina, our creator and showrunner, likes a particular direction that we're going, we just sort of run with it. Everything at Code Monkeys is done in-house. The animators, I work right next to the animators. It really is, we write the episodes and they immediately just get passed over to the animators if they get approved, and they just start working on them.
I know we were talking beforehand and you said you had some military background, which is unusual for a comedy writer, I thought.
My experience was I joined the military. I joined because I wanted the GI Bill and I really, really wanted to get out of New York at the time. And so I went and I signed up, and then 2 weeks after I signed up, Iraq invaded Kuwait. I just remember being, oh my God, now I have to go to a war. But of course the joke was I got there and I was not at all sent to war. I was too new. They didn't want any of the new guys going. And so we were stuck at this base in Louisiana doing tornado cleanup duty or, if like the sergeant needed his house painted for some reason. That was our training as aircraft mechanics. And so my experiences in the military were always a little bit bizarre and a little bit absurd.
Is that how your writing started, kind of based on your experiences in the military, or did it start beforehand?
I was writing puppet shows for myself, for the pure entertainment of myself. As you can imagine, that was very sad. But I actually remember being in high school, and all my reports would be turned in as scripts or plays. I would just to mix it up. I think a little bit out of rebelliousness, and I always knew that I wanted to write. I wasn't sure if it was television or film.
Now you're actually involved a lot online. You're on. Actually, I met you through Twitter.
Yep.
Just kind of seeing you on there, and we're like, oh my God, guy from Code Monkeys, awesome. Yeah. What's your experience been like so far?
For someone who is getting into new media, and I have a couple of web shows that I'm working on, my biggest recommendation is Twitter. Twitter all the way. The transparency for me was mind-blowing. I got into Twitter because someone had recommended it at a party. If you're going to do a web show, sign up for Twitter and start following new media people. And I think you two were the two of the first people I started following because I really love Epic Foo, and so I was starting to watch and become involved and know who was doing what.
As a TV writer, is there kind of a mystique? Because as a web producer, I would imagine there's a lot of mystique around television writers because people on the web do it on a whim and they kind of have created this whole way of doing it for TV writers. Is it the same way? Do you feel like it's crossing over?
It's a good question. I think in television, it's a much more closed environment. I think as a television writer, you're sitting in a room and you're just sort of typing away. I don't have a writing partner in television. I mostly write by myself if I'm not in a room. And so you're literally just staring at the walls and going, oh my God, how do I get to this next scene? And in new media, it's just so open and everybody is just so transparent about wanting to help. I can't tell you how many times because I follow people like Felicia Day, who does The Guild, and the guys over at Ask a Ninja and Tiki Bar TV, and just being able to send them a direct message or even emailing them and saying, hey, how do you guys format your scripts for this? And having them actually answer you within the same day or at all is amazing. I enjoy it. Plus the scripts are shorter. Let's go there. The scripts in television are 35 pages, and that can be brutal.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on?
There's two. I'm a soccer fan. That's one of the things I am. And we were at a soccer game, perhaps a little drunk, and we thought, wouldn't it be funny if somebody paid us money to travel the world and hang out with soccer fans? But then we thought, oh, it would be really hilarious if we pitched the most dangerous version of that. So we were like, we'll go to Iraq and we'll go to Palestine and watch them blow up the fields where they play. And we thought that'll be hilarious because it'll never sell, and it's sold. And then we were like, yeah, it's sold. And then we were like, oh, it's sold. We got to do this now? Of course, we picked the most dangerous place we could think of to shoot the pilot, which was white suburban Maryland. That is tough. I was strapped the entire time with a pen. The other one I'm working on is a scripted comedy web show about the military. I wanted to really focus on a group of guys in the military doing nothing, since that was my experience in the military.
So where can people find out more about what you're doing and follow your kind of progress?
I'm on Twitter,
okay.
So Twitter is probably the best place.
In doing some research for this interview, there's no blog.
There is no blog. I know there's no there's no blog yet. That's how new I am at all this. Yeah,
Don't worry, we'll